All right, so I'm pulling this one back out of the crates. This is a KPCB sewing machine, and it seems like we got a clone right here I was able to get my hands on. The parts are actually interchangeable to some degree, but I'll go over some of the differences. Let me zoom in and show you. Some of the differences you may be able to tell right away, but if we look at both machines, on the KPCB, you got 3 buttons here on this side of the machine. On here, you've got also 2 buttons, but these 2 buttons do the same thing as these 3 over here. You got the same placement where your bobbin goes here and also here. The plates fit interchangeably. The bases, let me flip that down, also fit interchangeably between each machine. Here's a base plate, and probably in the second or third video, we're going to be making this one as well too. So let me flip these back up. Now, one other thing I want to mention about the machines are I haven't been able to find a power supply that fits this particular connector. I found the voltage, not the connector. So I'm going to be working on that, but I do have foot pedals for both machines. So that's great too. In the back, they're pretty much the same. One thing about the clone is if you can already tell, it sits a little lower. And then also on the KPCB, you have a little slot here. And I believe this is where the table slides at. So they pretty much function the same, but I think there were some cost saving measures with this particular clone. All right, let's talk about what part we're going to make today. Okay, so the first part we're going to be focusing on is this bobbin pin. And okay, and I'm going to pull this up so you can see it here. See if I can get into focus. It's basically just a circle disc with a cylinder coming out and a slot in the end. This should be a pretty easy part to produce. So we're going to start from easy and go harder. Next one up will be the base plate. It's essentially just a flat plate with notches on the front and also a spring latch on the back. So this will be the second part that we do on a next video. Okay, so the third part we're going to make is a safety guard by the needle, and a clear plexi fits around here. And I might even make the guard, but let me flip it to the back so you can see it. This is the part we're going to be 3D printing, and this is the most complex part. So this will be the last part on video 3, which this is the guard mount where the guard hangs for protection of your fingers. And if I could leave a picture here, I'll leave it up here. All right, let's get started on designing this in Blender.
Having good sketches is the most important part when making a custom part, especially with 3D modeling. So here I'm just making my sketches and my numbers.
Okay, this is what I got. 21.7 for the overall, 2 millimeter thickness for the base, 13 millimeters wide for the base. The overall length of the cylinder is going to be this minus that, so I'll figure that out later. The circumference of the cylinder in the middle is 5.9 mm. And the only thing left for me to do is go ahead and take care of this slot right here, which we're going to notch out. All right, let's get over into Blender.
In this segment, I'm essentially taking my sketches and turning it into a 3D model. And then from there, I can print my part in any size or color that I want and out of any material that I use from the 3D printer. If you would like to learn how to 3D print or 3D model, hit me up in the comments section below. Also, if you have any questions about this project, you can also hit me up in the comment section.
Let's take a look at what we got on the 3D printer. So there's a white one. And I also printed one in black, and they turned out pretty much to be identical copies. You know, it's just a matter of measuring everything right. The black one's probably harder to see on camera, but let me show you something I noticed about the durability of this material, and we're going to try it in the sewing machine, and then I'm going to talk about something else as far as taking this model and stepping it up to the next level in strength. All right. Let's go on over here and I'm going to show you something about this particular print. Okay, what I wanted to talk about is the durability of the pieces. Here's the original one in the middle, and as you can see, these two are identical copies, and that's just coming from measuring and, you know, designing the model so that you get the results you're looking for. Now, because of this, if you could see here, let me see if I can get in on it. There's a tab that broke. This material is 3D print material, which is essentially just made to design the model. However, durability wise, these structures won't do. So I'm considering something to adjust in the model, in my particular model, so you can use this material. Also, these can be used to cast in a stronger, more durable plastic by making a mold, such as I did in the shoe design video. And if you haven't seen that video, just click on this video right here. Okay, so this is an adjustment I had to make in the model. If you can see here, this is the original notch, which is a lot deeper. So because these tabs broke in the actual printout, I raised the middle notch up, and it should do the same thing. These just acts as a relief, so it slightly bends. This works with a certain type of plastic, but with this 3D printed, as it prints in layers, it's weaker as a final structure. So I'm gonna try that adjusted first with the print, and then if it still breaks, then I will consider casting the part in maybe even this matching plastic that is actually in the piece. All right. Okay, zooming in close on the pen, what I noticed is the second iteration of the pen worked out just fine. And the cool thing about it is it's got the spring on it, spring tension. And I just have to test pulling it in and out and making sure it doesn't break. But we can test that out right now. If it breaks, I just have to make some refinement. And it did not break. So that modification actually worked, okay? Let's try it again. So I'll bring the camera down here so I can show you how I set it up. So the setup is the pen, then you put the spring, and I see I'm gonna have to make the base a little bit bigger, and then the bobbin goes on top, and I just have to make a custom spring, and that is the combo that you want right there. So it looks just like this. Let's go back onto the sewing machine, and I might have to make some final adjustments, but that spring tension, that works. The pen didn't break, and I think we have success. So let's go ahead and wrap up this video, and we'll talk about some things at the end of the video. Okay, ladies and gents, this video is going to be a little bit longer than I expected, in the sense of I'm going to have to work on this a little bit more, but this is just to show how you take your measurements and manufacture your parts. What I'm going to have to do is decide on if I'm going to use one that is adjusted for more durability, so that way people who want to print this out can just go on Thingiverse or on my website, description below, to print it out. So I have to make those decisions. I'll probably make a second video to show my results, but this is all that I have time for in this video. So we're going to refine the actual part that we made. This is the original right here, and this is the 3D printed version. And then once I perfect it, I'll show you what the end result is, and then we're going to move on to the battery hatch of the sewing machine. All right, guys, I appreciate all your support. Definitely like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.